In Canada, your auto insurance premium is based on several factors, including your age, driving record, coverage, the type of vehicle you drive, and even geography. But what you may not know is that your rate is also impacted by auto insurance fraud. Each year in Ontario, auto insurance fraud costs more than $1.6 billion. That means as much as $236 of the average premium pays only for fraud. A single staged collision can result in more than $100,000 in fraudulent payouts. Auto insurance fraud is not only costly, but it also places innocent drivers in dangerous and sometimes deadly situations. Auto insurance fraud comes in several different forms: staged collisions, false claims for injury, and exaggerated claims through body shops and medical clinics. Insurance Bureau of Canada has set out to help Canadians identify and report staged collisions as a way to help stop auto insurance fraud and reduce our annual premiums. Staged collisions are a common form of auto insurance fraud. There are three common types of staged collisions: the swoop and squat, the drive down, and the bullet left turn. The swoop and squat is a staged collision involving two cars driven by suspects who box in a victim's car. The first vehicle pulls in front of the second and slams on their brakes. The second car hits their brakes, and the innocent driver behind can't avoid the accident and rear-ends the vehicle ahead. A drive-down staged collision typically occurs in a parking lot. The suspect waves you through to back out of the parking space, and as you do so, they intentionally drive into you. A bullet left turn is a situation where you are attempting to make a left-hand turn, and the suspect driver intentionally wants to stage a collision and waves you on. As you complete the turn, they intentionally drive into you. The collision is typically the start of a fraudulent claim process that begins with providers like tow truck operators who will direct consumers to fraudulent body shops that may charge for exaggerated or unrepaired damages, and also rehab clinics and healthcare providers who will treat supposedly injured victims or individuals with exaggerated injury claims. Following a collision, there are steps that you can take to protect yourself. Take photos of the damage to the vehicles and any debris, including skid marks. You can identify the occupants of the other vehicles. All this information will be helpful in the investigation of the collision. Some signs that you've been involved in a staged collision can include the fact that the passenger and drivers in the other vehicle don't want to identify themselves or provide you with their identification. Their stories may be inconsistent in terms of how the crash occurred. As well, if the driver and passengers of the other vehicle immediately exit their car, complaining of neck and back injuries. Some tips following a collision to protect yourself include being suspicious and cautious of any strangers offering you recommendations on service providers or shops to use. You should always use professionals you trust. Never sign a blank or incomplete work order or document. And also keep track of any payments being made on your behalf on the insurance claim to ensure they are accurate.
When a collision occurs, it's the responsibility of the drivers, passengers, and all road users to report any suspected crime. If charges are warranted, they will be laid. If you're involved in a collision, it is your responsibility to make that report to police. If you're suspicious of any activity surrounding this collision, make sure law enforcement is aware. You can call police or you can attend your local police service detachment.
Each year, staged collisions put the safety and security of drivers in jeopardy and cost Ontario drivers as much as $236 on their insurance premium. When fraudsters cheat, we all pay. So, remember these tips to stay safe and help stop auto insurance fraud. Ensure you drive defensively and never tailgate. If you are in a crash, document everything. Call your insurance provider as soon as possible. Choose trustworthy automotive services and dealers. If you suspect something suspicious, call our confidential tips line at 1-877-IBC-TIPS.